since we did our top 3, but I feel like there was so much
more. so much more.
So we want to do
we can't
2 and 2
that.
honorable mentions, places that you must go as well. Ladies first.
Okay, so we love Chicago. We got to do that right after the proposal with our family. Where are we at?
Chicago. Chicago. Very nice, very beautiful Chicago. Chicago, surprisingly, I think.
Wait a minute.
One of the I'm gonna die. One of the best kind of like downtown areas.
Yeah, Chicago in the summer is where it's at. So much so that we were considering whether we wanted to live there, but then we heard the summers aren't as great as the winters aren't as great as it is in the summer.
And when we met like 2 or 3 couples and was like, oh my God, we love your city. He's like, oh, have you been here in the winter? They all said the same thing. We're like, no, but like, it's like, okay, you have a great point, sir. Like, during the summer, beautiful, the music.
That
food.
Was my favorite memory was the jazz, the jazz club, jazz show that we went to. This is what Vitor does at a jazz club. Watching his soccer game.
Definitely recommend. Eat a lot of good food.
Yeah.
And
the river tour, the architecture tour, that was one of my highlights.
Oh my God, yeah. Definitely if you go to Chicago, do that river tour.
The architecture one.
This is the Chicago River that we're taking this trip on. This is the main branch of the Chicago River. So again, fully self-contained city within the city. Of course, in the 60s, this also looked like something from the future, right? So you can imagine how he was trying to change the way people lived.
And if you're traveling by van, we stayed. Man, the whole time we stayed right by the water, by the lake, right? A huge lake. Yeah, and it was beautiful because every morning, just people running, exercising, skateboarding, and we were just, okay, let's go for a walk or a run right by the lake, and beautiful. Okay, my honorable mention, the first one I have to say, it's the white sand dunes. How do you not remember that? We loved it so much.
See, there's so many places, because now I'm thinking of more.
We are at White Sands National Park. We got to go in free because maybe COVID, but the park entrance was closed. Looks like winter and summer. We out here.
Ain't going nowhere. Yeah. That was a good one. So for me, it hit it so hard, number 1 too, because I didn't know what to expect. Also, I never heard of it. Like, I didn't grow up here.
Yeah.
And when we were there, it just felt like I was in the moon or something. I was like, you look around like 360 degrees and it's just this white sand. And it just looks like, I'm like, oh my God, I'm in the moon.
Like endless,
And I have this love for the moon. That's why I also named our daughter Lua, which in Portuguese means moon. And I have this because of, the death of my father, so I have a whole thing with the moon. And that just hit me. I'm like, oh my God, I feel like I'm literally there. You have the second?
Now I have 5s in just that little story. Okay, so Savannah is where I met you at after taking a break and being with mommy. Savannah was a cool experience. There's just like some towns and places that I remember feeling like in love, like it was honeymoon-like, and Savannah was one of those.
Savannah was definitely... Insert hotel here. It's beautiful. It had music, so a lot of good music, a lot of good food.
Exactly. That's all we need. Good food.
Small enough that you can do it all in a day or 2. It just have a charm, So
Savannah definitely has its charm.
My last honorable mention has to be Grand Canyon.
Oh my God, there's so many we missed.
How you miss Grand Canyon? Come on. It was right in the beginning of our trip because, again, we left from LA. And it was the first national park, and I have never been because, again, I didn't grow up here. But so I kind of had an idea from watching on TV or in YouTube.
And there's so many different parts of Grand Canyon West, North, East, South, the rim, and all that.
It's huge. So for me, it was just to see that how big and huge. I'm like, this is beautiful. And I'm gonna share also this moment that it was like, I have tinnitus, right? Which is the ringing in your ears since before, no, when I met you, yeah. So for that whole year, I was so like bothered by that ringing.
Yeah.
And then there was the only moment I remember us sitting in the rock, just looking at nothing, and there was just silence. And I'm like, oh my God.
You haven't heard silence.
First time that I haven't heard silence in over a year plus. I'm like, oh my God, it's so good. And then later, like, you know, I forgot about it and then
It came back.
it came back. So, but yeah, so, and we took some great pictures. We did a little,
Yeah.
what is it called?
Like a skywalk. type of
Skywalk type thing, took pictures, yeah. And if you go to Grand Canyon, of course, stay there a week then.
Yeah,
like, at
we did
least
a lot.
and Yellowstone, the same tip. It's just like, everybody knows that. Like,
Yeah.
you go to Yellowstone, just don't do it
There's so
for
much to do there.
3-4 days. Stay there because
Yeah.
you like we did it because Yellowstone. There's so many areas that you have to actually drive, and there's traffic in Yellowstone. Remember? So
Because the buffalo.
the buffaloes, yeah. Sometimes
Crossing.
people are just sitting there, just waiting for the buffaloes to cross. So anyway, so that's our.
I'm not done with my honorable mentions. Do you
You
still
wanna
have
do
more?
more?
There's so many.
I have one more that I wrote
Okay,
down,
fine,
but
go.
you go.
Austin.
Austin. Oh,
Austin for me. Lady Bird Lake. The spots for me is the kayaking on Lady Bird Lake.
Here we are, Barton Springs. And he says it's not cold at all. We'll see. Yeah?
Waking up every morning to do that jogging path, that was so
Yeah.
beautiful. I felt like we didn't plan on staying there that long and we ended up staying longer.
And it was a very welcoming city
Yes.
for
We
van
love
life and
Austin.
bus life. We've parked in multiple places and like you're like in the city,
Yeah.
but you're still like, you
On
know.
my face. And then also that swing rope into the lake, that was one of my favorite
yeah.
too. I'm like,
Yeah. Austin.
swimming in there.
Yeah. Austin. And yeah, the whole Texas, the food, the barbecue.
Yes.
Also, we saw family there. Yeah, it was, the other one I was thinking about too was New York, but it's just because I
Yeah.
lived there for
And it was
9
such
years.
a cool experience where we got to park. Because when I was thinking of Austin, I was also thinking of New York and like the
yeah.
cool places that we've parked that's been like in the middle of the city.
Yeah, we found the spots in like in Queens.
Yeah.
Right under the bridge.
Exactly.
By a beautiful park that had again skate. I grew up skating, so every time there's like a beautiful, nice skate park, and I can just wake up, get on my bus, and go skate. Like it was very nice. And you're like in the heart of the city. You can literally just walk, get the subway, and go anywhere. So.
That was so cool.
New York, I mean, because everybody also knows how nice New York. But I didn't think for van
That we
life or
could do
bus
van
life,
there.
or even a bus,
Yeah.
how easy it was gonna be. So it turned out to be good. Good memories, no?
Let's go make more.
Let's go make more. Let's hit the road again. Mission to Baja. Let's go. If you're watching this and listening, thank you first.
For staying this long.
First day, thank you for watching. But also, just like if you haven't explored any of these places
so
or
much.
any other places, if you want to reach out to see like, that we've been, like man, just go out there. Even if it's just like a quick vacation, 5 days or so. There's so much to explore. Just don't be so stuck on your little bubble in a sense, right? Thank you so much, United States of America.
I didn't think we were going to end the video like this.
America for life.
Okay.
Okay, time to go. Anyways, thank you guys so much. See you the next episode.
Bye. Mwah. And kiss. Mwah.
With
Kiss.
It's so dark.